Sportscast, December 17th. A couple more days till 2019 is finished. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe on all our channels, Periscope, iTunes, and Facebook and iTunes. And if you're in iTunes, please leave a rating and review. Say that Mr. Victor Arocho is the greatest co-host on the Sportscast, but don't tell me
that's not true.
And visit us on thesportscast.net for the latest and greatest in sports news. A lot going on in the world of sports. Actually, this week, we're having a lot going on with college recruiting, so we'll have Tyler on tomorrow, and talk to us a little bit what's going on in the world of college football. Week 15 of the NFL. It's just been completed. Things are getting warmed up a little bit in the NFL. A couple of new players shining, Kenyon Drake, Perriman, and the Giants with Eli Manning are starting to win, but they just beat the Dolphins, so anyone can beat the Dolphins with whoever quarterback. Anyways, joining us live from Pembroke Pines, Florida, a guy that knows not too much about college football, but a lot more about NFL. Victor Arocho.
College football. All right. Well, first of all, let me correct you. Number one, I go back on our past podcast. I picked Joe Burrows.
Anyone could pick Joe Burrow. Your wife could have picked Joe Burrow.
Crazy. No, Kailu picked the other guy from Oregon, which was good. Four of those guys were great. All of them were great. I was super impressed that they all, like 3 of the 4 were transfers. You know how hard that is?
You've done your homework.
That's crazy.
You're crazy.
Is like, God bless those kids, man. God bless them. That's all I got to say. To transfer to a school, and you'll tell me later, tell your college boys to tell me, I thought you had to wait out a year. But either case, man, God bless those kids. 3 out of 4 Heisman trophies. I cannot believe that this ever happened in history, number one. Number two, I know my college only when it counts. So back to that, I'm only a good co-host because we have a great host of this show. So
I am the host. I am the MC of the show. I make Victor Arocho be famous. And the show is sponsored by CBD, his company. What's it called again, the website?
Yeah, I really appreciate all this time you've been going. MindJuiceCBD.com. Pain relief, joint relief. I've had 3 operations. Go check it out. But, at the end of the day, I ain't doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. But when I say I'm doing it for me, not only for my health, but for the great comments I get from our clients and customers that can sleep better and feel better. So I really do. I'm doing it to be able to make sure people just feel better. I know what it is to go through pain.
Exactly. So go to his website, mindcbd.com. It's the next
Mind Juice. Write down your host.
CBD.com. I don't have an assistant. I can't afford an assistant, but we definitely could need people out there, who are in pain, any joints, even in teeth. It might work in teeth, right?
No. Don't put it in your mouth. But it works for headaches. It works for every part of your joint. It's not inside. But the deal is it's an anti-inflammatory, has everything that BioFreeze and Icy Hot has, except for has CBD. But hey, let's move on to. I appreciate the plug, but
I'm sure the best. We're trying to pay the bills, and mine's
you know what I mean?
And mine's juicecbd.com.
I got Giant stuff for you today, and all those Giant fans.
Anyways, this is not the Giants cast, everyone, but the Giants defeated the Dolphins 36-20. Manning threw for 2 touchdowns. Barkley finally scored. It's been quite a bit with 2 touchdowns. And, of course, looking at the score, Dolphins did score 20 points. If this was Eli Manning's final start at home in a career that saw the New York Giants win 2 Super Bowls, it was one that sent chills down the spine and a back tear for the face of the franchise for the past 16 years. The 2-time Super Bowl MVP threw two touchdowns, and New York snapped a franchise record-tying 9-game losing streak with 36-20 victory over the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. Victor, was this Eli's last game?
Well, first of all, let me make a comment to our listeners out there. 1, I'm at home, so I wanted to give you the Christmas spirit. 2, me and Santiago did not do a memo, so we're not both wearing orange. Like, we didn't do it on purpose, but I'm representing Clemson. I don't know who he's representing.
I'm representing Clemson. Clemson's paying me for this shirt.
So we both got Clemson on. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. And for me, I'm Puerto Rican, so we celebrate the Christmas spirit.
Every
All right,
day.
so let's get into the Giants. Right? Is this Eli's last Giant stamp? I mean, I think so. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine. They already put Danny Jones in. And but what I got to say to the Giant fans, which I said earlier and which I posted many times about them going 2 wins, like there's no way Manning would have only just had 2 wins also. I mean, he wouldn't have done any worse than that. That's number one. Number two, they should have won last week. So he would have already had 2 wins. If you add those 2 wins, I mean, I think obviously hindsight is 2020, right? So I'm playing Monday morning quarterback, but the NFC East is so terrible that I am the opinion that if Eli would have stayed in for a longer period of time, we may have a shot at the NFC title.
Nah, I doubt it.
Okay, well, give me the records in the NFC.
Nah, I think it would have been the same thing. I know the Cowboys are in 7-7, and they could clinch this weekend. By the way,
Okay, I understand that, but they could also lose it this weekend at 7-7. They're going to go in at 8-7. All I'm saying to you is that
Dallas can do that.
He may have been in a better position than the Eagles. You don't know that. He's always played big in big games. And we beat Dallas. We beat Green Bay.
He's done, man.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Any
NFC East team that gets in is going to lose.
Wow.
So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything else. All I'm saying to you, in an opportunity season, and again, it's hindsight. I think that in hindsight, if Eli would have kept playing, I still think they would have done better than a 2-win season with Dan Jones, and he would have learned under a 2-time MVP. That's just my opinion, and I wanted to get that out there because Eli played okay, except for then I started seeing interceptions. I was freaking out.
This has been a tough year for Eli Manning. He lost his starting job to Daniel Jones 3 games into the season.
2 games.
3 games.
Why 3?
It got it back last Monday because the rookie sprained his right ankle. Manning is not sure what will happen next. He would like to start the final 2 games, but Jones is Shermer's starter, and he will play when ready. Do you think
Shermer needs to go? Bottom line, fire his butt. Fire Shermer. Fire him. Get a defensive coordinator. At least we're going to be in the top picks. Get defensive lineman. That defense is terrible.
Should Eli Manning start his last 2 games of the season?
Yes, he should. They should let him finish the season with dignity, and he already has it. So you don't need the season. They're going to make it. Number one. Number two. I mean, no matter who's playing, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not like you're getting playoff experience. The kid is hurt. Why risk him for the following year? And if Eli's not going to play the next years, let him play. You know what I mean? They're performing. I mean, he's thrown for good yardage. They put up 30-something points, even though it's against the Dolphins. But, the Dolphins, I give them credit. They've also started playing a lot better in the second half. So, I mean, you can say what you want, but, that's it.
Saquon Barkley ran for 112 yards and scored 2 walk-in touchdowns, and New York's much maligned defense added a safety as the Giants, 3-11, handed the Dolphins their second loss in as many weeks at MetLife Stadium. Manning threw a 51-yard scoring pass to Golden Tate in the second quarter and a go-ahead 5-yarder to Darius Slayton, who's having a great season, on the opening series of the second half. The number 1 overall pick in the 2004 draft also threw 3 interceptions, 2 of which set up field goals by Dolphins kicker Jason Sanders. Tate said Manning refused to take the spotlight after the game.
Stat magnet, just give me a question.
I know you're going to say that.
Give me a question. Let's go through the league, bro.
Saquon Barkley.
Stats.
What'd you think about his performance?
Saquon Barkley, he's a star. He's a stud. They should give it to him more. We need some more outside help, but I don't care. No matter, he had 100-something yards. I don't care how potent a Giants offense can be. Without a defense in the NFC East, you got a problem. I mean, think about it. You got a problem. Look at Carson Wentz. Look at, you got a problem. The NFC East is tough, and they stink this year. So Saquon is a stud. I mean, I think our first pick is going to be, I guarantee our first pick next year in the draft is going to be a D lineman. Guaranteed.
Ingram, your tight end, will be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that don't help.
By the way, he's there's one term that I heard from him.
About what I thought after being, again, hindsight, because I couldn't tell you. You never know where Dan Jones would have taken us. I'm just saying to you, with a lousy NFC East division,
It's pretty lousy. It's pretty bad.
I think he would have given us a better shot.
I don't think so. I think Eli's done. He should go to the Dolphins no, not the Dolphins. He should go
to Dolphins.
He should go to like the New York Jets.
He should go to the Chargers.
Other games this weekend: Seattle beat the Panthers 30-24. Some people are saying that Russell Wilson should be the MVP over Lamar Jackson.
Not even close. Lamar's, didn't Seattle lose? Remember, I picked them. Who they lose to? Los Angeles Rams.
I think so. Or
Yeah, I mean, you can't, look, Russell Wilson's a great quarterback, don't get me wrong, but, I still say that for me, consistency over a career is going to make the difference. But this year, I don't think anybody's close to Lamar Jackson. In other words, as the season progressed and their record and they progressed, remember, I kept changing early on, but the fact that he's continued progressing, I'm just saying that his career over time is going to tell us how good or great he's going to be. But there's no doubt that I think hands down, he wins the MVP. It's like Joe Burrows won the Heisman Trophy, like I told you.
Speaking about the Panthers, they fired Ron Rivera last week. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, we talked about that,
We did? No, we didn't.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. So I just think it's tough. He hasn't had a chance.
Oh, the Panthers.
He's had a chance with that new quarterback that's doing pretty well.
I know.
But the thing is, remember, we talked about it. It's a new owner. He wants to clean house. I mean, when you got billions of dollars, you're going to you're going to want change. You know what I mean? He's like setting his sword down as an owner.
Where should Ron Rivera go next to coach? The Redskins?
Cleveland.
Cleveland would be good. Atlanta would be good. I know that they're probably gonna get rid of Quinn from the Falcons.
I know, but I'd take that Cleveland job.
That Cleveland job is looks hot. Looks really nice.
Get the boys together and you get them right, and you build a winning philosophy and attitude. I think Cleveland could be tough, but I told you they weren't going to be that great this year. Remember, even though they had all those picks.
Yeah, you're right. Which OBJ could be gone. Could leave Cleveland back to New York.
If he leaves Cleveland, then I have a different opinion if I take that job.
The Eagles defeated your Redskins 37-27.
They're not my Redskins. That was expected. Cleveland's at the bottom of the NFC East, and that's it.
No, Washington. Well,
Washington's
I think 2 weeks ago, Redskins could have had a chance to make the playoffs or something.
Nah, I don't think so. But that's my point. Let's say you were right. Don't tell me the Giants wouldn't have had a chance. Redskins have a chance and the Giants wouldn't have. But yeah, the Redskins are just, I think Snyder's a bad owner, personally.
Worse than Jerry Jones?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Worse than the Knicks owner?
Oh, two different sports, but the difference between the Knicks, in my opinion, now Washington fans would have a different opinion, but Washington's got a close-knit fan base down in that area, right? That outside area. Yeah, but all over that little quadrant area, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but the Knicks are like, that's like the staple, like, that's the golden seal. So when you mess up that organization, you know what I mean? You're even though you could be both owners are bad, being an owner of the Knicks and being bad at it makes you worse, right? Because you got the creme de la creme. You got the Garden. You win at the Garden, you start building a team. Life changes in the NBA.
Would you rather be the owner of the Redskins or the Knicks?
Knicks.
That'd be more of a sexier job. The Redskins is not sexy.
Well, because, I think that I just think there's smarter moves that they can make, and I think that you can
Would you have hired Phil Jackson?
Attract players at New York. Think about it. To be a Knick and to make that team win, you have to have the player philosophy, and it's an attraction team. You know what I mean?
It's not
But
attractive.
it's not attractive
Players
if
rather go to Brooklyn to the Knicks.
What's that?
Players rather go to Brooklyn than New York City.
No, that's not true. They're just saying that because of owner. Wait a second. You can't speak on two sides, my brother. We're talking about ownership. The issue is ownership. If the ownership gets its stuff correct, or you get rid of the damn ownership, then they're going to rather go to New York. There's no way. People are going to have fun in Brooklyn. They're going to do it. It's Brooklyn, BK, and I love them to death. But at the end of the day, the Mecca is the Garden.
Yeah, it is. Anyways,
bro, you rank that brother up, it's over.
It used to be. I mean, the last good Knicks team was 2013-ish with Melo.
Yeah, well, Melo, I'm not a big fan of Melo, but
which he's not doing well in Portland. Like Portland's not doing well with him.
Well, he kicked off a little bit of energy there,
a little bit, but then it just went down. It just dipped. It's stale.
I don't like throw rocks in a glass house. I can't shoot. I would take sitting on the bench of an NBA team.
Kansas City Chiefs beat the Broncos 23-3, which was a snowstorm.
Mahomes looked good.
He's an MVP candidate too. Still.
Nah, Lamar's gone. Let's forget about. Stop talking about MVP. He's over. Lamar Jackson won it. If you want to go back in history and record me right now, okay, with your
I will record this.
I'm going to record you on the day you got a new haircut. The fact that Lamar Jackson is MVP this year. Yeah, I mean, that's it. So who we saying? Kansas City. Mahomes looks good, man. I mean, in the snow, he was still eluding players. I mean, he was throwing the ball nice downfield. I mean, that kid is consistent, man. So,
You think they can beat the Ravens?
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible.
Can anyone in the AFC beat the Ravens? I say the Patriots still can.
Yeah, the Patriots, the Kansas City. Who else is in the AFC?
Buffalo Bills.
Nah, they won't beat them. No. I think the Patriots and Kansas City got their best shot of beating
Houston Texans.
Baltimore, but Houston's kind of weird.
Houston's weird, man. They're like James Winston. They're weird.
Though, I like Deshaun Jackson. I told you that one time when I saw him throw from the pocket within the end zone for a first down, that he won me over because that is crazy.
Houston Texans, as we were speaking, beat the Tennessee Titans with Ryan Tannehill 24-17. And the Titans were on the roll before this game.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get your losses still the NFL, but you see another Dolphin player leave Dolphins and do well.
My barber told me that today. It's like, yeah, another Dolphin player playing well. What is that? Drake had a good weekend.
The Dolphins are better than the draft. You're better off taking a Dolphin player.
Minka Fitzpatrick's doing well too.
Brandon Marshall does well. What was the guy who Wes Welker?
Landry.
Tannehill. I mean, I can go on and on. It's terrible. I don't know. That goes back to ownership and leadership, bro. I mean, it's just.
Would you give a leadership talk to the Dolphins organization?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm like, oh, my God.
They'll probably pay you like $1 million.
The first thing I would tell them in leadership is I've been here for 20-something years, and I tried to like you, but you're so bad that it was impossible. Like, I'm a Heat fan now. I was a major Knicks fan. I'm still a Knicks fan, but I mean, I'm a
you like the Heat better now, of course. Well, anyone would turn against the Knicks right now.
UD won me over. The Dolphins for 20 years couldn't win me over.
You won me over, Victor.
But my point being is, as ownership and leadership, I'm saying 20 years in a major city that the Dolphins are well known throughout the country. To have 20 years of bad football, I mean, that's bad, bro.
The Patriots defeated the Bengals 34-13.
That was easy.
The Patriots are back.
Nah, it was just easy, bro. You can't say that's the Bengals. The Bengals haven't even won a game, have they?
I think they've won 1 or 2 games. Now, what'd you think about the whole video incident? Do you think the Patriots did it on purpose, or they just accidentally, was recording the sideline?
I just think that when jealousy comes with winning,
That's
right?
true. You're in a whole different
So
world. You're
whether you're popular or you're in any like major persona in the world, if you're popular, you're winning a lot, they're coming after you, right? They're going to criticize you. I was always taught when they're doing that, you're doing something well. So I can't tell, but I mean, to be in that many Super Bowls, to win that many Super Bowls, and to have lost 3 Super Bowls to the same division, I mean, you would have thought they would have went undefeated, right? I mean, you couldn't prepare for that. So I don't know. I just don't want to take it away from those guys. That's all. I just, for me, it's football, right? Your strategy, you look at film, you do all this other stuff. I mean, I don't understand. And then my point being is Belichick has gotten in trouble for things that he's done that all other coaches have done. Not everything, but I mean, it's the same thing he's done in some of the allegations they made against him.
like
It's just
Spygate.
it was heightened because it was Belichick and the Patriots. And I ain't a Boston fan by no means. I'm nor am I a Patriot fan, but
No,
look at the
you're
Yankees.
yeah. I
They
mean,
always complain about the Yankees. I mean, Houston. Look at Houston's under suspect of winning the championship. Now, what they're doing is a little different, if it's true. Because in football's a lot harder. The guy can audible at the line. He can, you can't look at film like one day and makes that fast of changes. I think you can, but I don't think that many. There's too many variables. Like you got 11 players that got to execute perfectly. Does that make sense?
yeah. Obviously,
When
NFL
you bad
is
pitches. Dude, think about it. You're looking, the batter's looking at a pitch, and Houston would have had the most home runs in the league. So imagine telling the most home run team in the league, giving them what pitch is coming.
NFL is investigating, of course, if these videos were directed from the top, meaning Bill Belichick, and but they will act on swiftly. So we'll see in the next couple of weeks if we'll get an answer from Roger Goodell and the NFL people. So it's pretty interesting because Fox did release a video of the camera guy talking to the Cincinnati security, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I know that the Patriots, Tom Brady got in trouble a couple of years ago for Deflategate, for removing some air from the footballs, taking out some air, and of course he got suspended for 4 games. But this might go all the way to Bill Belichick,
And they still won.
and they still won the Super Bowl. So it's quite crazy how things have turned around for the Patriots.
It goes back again. When you win, they're coming after you.
Exactly.
When you win, they're coming after you, right? Coming after you. You know how many people, I'm a big Yankee fan, as you know it, talk about the Yankees, talk about the payroll, and then you look at Boston, you look at a lot of other teams that have huge payrolls and don't win. Other than the Marlins, you got to give that organization credit, but every other team has won has been in the top 5 in payroll. So why do you complain about the Yankees?
The Buccaneers defeated the Detroit Lions 38-17. James Winston had 458 yards. This quarterback is so unusual because
FSU baby,
FSU player. There's some games where he'll give you like 400 yards, and some other games will give you 5 picks and lose the game. But the Buccaneers 7-7. I don't think they have a chance to make it to the playoffs, but so far so good, right, for them.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to see an FSU player do well. I think Jameson has got the talent, but, problem with the quarterback position, is that when they win, it's because of the team. When they lose, it's because of the quarterback. and there's times where, if he didn't have those picks, right, and they were just throwing in the wrong area, how many times have you seen Brady, any great quarterback, throw the ball and you're like wondering, who is he throwing to? A lot of times it's the receiver who made the wrong move. But the stack goes against the quarterback. If a receiver drops the ball and it gets intercepted, the quarterback gets the stat. Now the receiver gets for a drop ball, but an interception is so much worse than a drop ball.
Minnesota Vikings defeated the Los Angeles Chargers 39-10. I don't think we should talk about that game.
Nah, let's scrap that.
Green Bay Packers defeated the Chicago Bears 21-13. Aaron Rodgers is looking like Aaron Rodgers.
I told you.
Matt LaFleur is right now. Green Bay has a bye in the playoffs.
Okay, so this is a perfect example. Like, so I want to stay on the topic about like how and general
leadership.
Across the board,
General manager.
You know, not only just leadership, but how people attack the best. Right? Think about it. Before the season started, they were talking about Aaron Rodgers was one type of person. He didn't get along with the coach. You know what I mean? They were saying so much stuff about him. Right? And you can say whatever you want, but somehow he's rallying that team. I mean, so how much truth is there? How much non-truth? I'm not saying it's all false. I'm not saying it's all true, but I bet you there's more false than truth because he's that good, and it's Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay is that's another place that's like a staple in the.
You think Green Bay might go to the Super Bowl?
You agree?
Oh yeah, I mean Green Bay. I believe the fans have team ownership of the team.
No, it's like a co. No, they get license. Yeah, they were the first one to be like.
There's no Pacific One owner,
so you buy a seat. Yeah. That's why Wisconsin's all built in. I would love to go to a game there in the winter. Aaron Rodgers is a stud, bro. You can't.
Would you live it? Would you live it in Wisconsin?
Oh hell no! I want to live anything north of Florida.
Wow, you hear here first. He would not go back to Jersey or New York.
Except for New Jersey. Except for Jersey. I would move to Jersey. That's only now. That's 20 years older, and I'm older. And that's funny. As you're older, you want to be in hot weather. But if there's only one place I would go, I'd go to Jersey because that's where, my family, my people is at, New York and New Jersey. But I'm a Jersey boy, so if I needed to move, I'd go back to Jersey. That's it. And I didn't think that way like 5-10 years ago.
Would that ever happen? Like you moving back to Jersey? I doubt it.
I can't see a scenario that would happen yet, but I can't tell you. I can't, if I could predict the future, I'd give you the Powerball numbers and we split it.
You'll be a millionaire. You'll be a millionaire. Maybe a billionaire.
Well, I do pretty well, but I would split the Powerball with you.
Jaguars defeated the Raiders.
Only if I can predict when I would go to Jersey, because if I get the Powerball next week, that doesn't count.
Jaguars defeated the Raiders 20-16. Your boy Gardner Minshew had 201 yards.
Oh man, I wasn't happy with how did Jacobs do?
Josh Jacobs had 89 yards, no touchdowns.
He's approaching 100. That kid's a stud. I'm surprised by that loss. I'm surprised, it's a tough year for the Raiders, but you still got to give Gruden
props.
You got to give him props for what he's able to do when he was able to do it.
Raiders are 6-8.
When we get to that team, you know who my favorite is of the year, coach of the year, in my opinion.
Who?
Keep going. We'll go through your line. I'll tell you when we hit it.
Okay. Next match, Arizona Cardinals defeated the Browns 38-24. I picked Cleveland to win that game.
Of course you did, but let me tell you something. Tyler Murray needs to. He's like the quiet guy,
Tyler Murray's not a bad rookie. Not the rookie of the year.
Take his time, and nobody's on his case, so I'm really happy about that.
He's just too small.
Yeah, but you know what? Everyone said that, but no one's really on his case. They've been improving. They said, who would you take, one over the other? Like, who would you take, Baker Mayfield or Tyler Murray now?
Oh, gosh, Tyler Murray right now.
That's my point.
Yeah, you're right. Good point.
He's too small, and then you got this prototype quarterback and saying, oh, he's so small, but I take the small guy.
Yeah, and he hasn't been injured much either.
He hasn't been injured. It's his first year, and he is small, but he's got to get used to the speed. He's got to get used to the size. And with all that said, he's done okay.
He's not bad. He's not like they haven't pulled him out. I mean, he's doing better than Josh Rosen.
Right, and he's under the radar, where people aren't criticizing him as much. So, they were criticizing him more before he got picked than they did during his season.
A surprising game. The Atlanta Falcons beat the San Francisco 49ers 29-22. What in the world?
I missed that one. Oh, man. Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and keep in mind, the Niners were number one about 2 weeks ago. Now they're in the wild card playoffs. They're not They don't have a bye, even though they're 11-3.
You know what's funny is that remember we talked about the Falcons when they were doing really bad. I was like, something's wrong there. Matty Ice is Matty Ice, man.
But he's not what he used to be. He's more of like a Joe Flacco now.
Nah, he's like, that's an insult. He's not even in his club. I mean, I like Joe Flacco, don't get me wrong, but Matty Ice, bro. They ain't beating the 49ers. What's their record, and how many games have they won over the last, the second half of the season?
I don't know. He hasn't. I know they're 5-9 right now. So.
Okay, so the second half of the season, guarantee they put up bigger numbers.
Matty Ice, it's like Jay Cutler.
Oh, Cutler is the name. I forgot that. Nah, Matty Ice is way better than Cutler.
He's more like Tannehill. I'm kidding.
Oh, my God.
Matt Ryan had 210 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G, had 200 yards and 1 touchdown. So that's our stats for today.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened there.
Your Cowboys beat the Rams 44-21. Are the Cowboys back?
Don't insult me.
Well, the Cowboys.
Call them my Cowboy. You did it twice. Washington and the Cowboys. Just because it's the NFC East, there's only one your Giants.
Would you root for the Cowboys if they make the playoffs?
No.
Will the Cowboys win the NFC East?
No. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
What, 80% chance?
I think they got like a 60% chance.
I think so. I mean, they could choke this week.
They're playing in Philadelphia, dude. You know how hard it is to play there?
That's divisional. That's a playoff game right there.
They're ruthless fans.
I mean, not as bad as the Giants.
What do you mean? No, the Jets are bad. No, Giants are good fans, but the Philadelphia Bills boys.
Wow, that's a game of the weekend, period.
No, that's a major. Well, it's a game of the shitty division, but it is a game because I like the NFC East, right?
Hey, there are 12-year-olds watching this show, by the way.
Oh, sorry. It's a game of the weakest conference, right? And but it is a major game because of the impact it has on those both teams.
I can see the Cowboys winning that game.
I don't know, man. I think they're playing at home. I just think about it. In my opinion, Carson Wentz can light up when he's on the money, in my opinion, than Dak. Even though he's got more tools.
Yeah. And he does have Zeke. And Eagles are damaged. I think they have like one wide receiver. Not even that. I don't know who's in that team still.
Neither.
I think it's just Carson Wentz. And I'm not sure if he's 100% healthy, to be honest.
Yeah, but they're going to play. When you play inside your division at home, it's just different, especially in the NFC East.
I am going for the Eagles. I mean, sorry, for the Cowboys. You're going for the Eagles.
I'm going for the Eagles.
You're going for the Eagles. Okay. And finally,
Philadelphia's close to Jersey.
Yeah, it is. It's about like 2 hours.
It's right over right here because the whole New Jersey is 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not that hard to pass by, but Steelers and Bills. I believe the Steelers. No, Bills beat the Steelers 17-10. Your boy Josh Allen did it again.
It's not my boy. Why do you keep yelling who's mine? No, my boy is Tomlin. He's coach of the year, in my opinion. With a loss, he's coach of the year.
Yeah. He's done well without a quarterback.
Well, I mean, Duck is doing pretty good. He's doing well with a 4-string quarterback. His defense is still playing well, and then you hear the stories. You just love those kind of stories with the Mara family and the Rooney family. That's why I'm confused with what the Mara family is doing with the Giants. But with the Rooneys, they're playing Steeler football. I mean, like I told you, look up how many head coaches the Steelers have had. I think they have 3 or 4 in their history.
Would you pick Devon Hodges or Mason Rudolph?
Oh no, I'll take the Duck.
The Duck. Anyways, the Cowboys are 10-4. They definitely improved their standing.
Cowboys are 10-4.
No, the Buffalo Bills are 10-4. When was the last time Cowboys were 10-4? Back in the 90s.
I'm confused. Who's drinking cranberry juice? You or me?
I think I am. Anyways, yeah. So the Bills are definitely behind the Patriots. So we'll see how things are going. Um,
The Bills are a good team. They don't seem like dominant enough for me.
yeah, they're gonna lose in the first round.
You know what I mean? They're like
Yeah, they're
a
gonna lose.
good. They got a great record. They're having a great year. But if I had to rank, like you just had to rank everyone who would be in the playoffs, they just don't stand out for
They're not
me.
gonna go to the Super Bowl, and they're not gonna. They're probably well, if they do, they lose.
They're not going to Super Bowl.
They're not going to the AFC Championship game.
No.
Anyways, the Colts lost against the Saints 34-7. People thought it'd be a closer game, but the Saints are
Why?
pretty. I don't know. I think because for Jacoby Brissett, but the Colts haven't been doing well these past couple of weeks.
They're like flip flopped with Atlanta. Would you agree? In other
Ooh,
words,
yeah, similar record.
when we started the NFL podcast, right? We at least I was. I don't want to speak for you. You know,
No, you're not.
The Colts surprised me, and so did the Falcons. In other words, one was doing way better than I thought, and the other one was doing a lot worse than I thought.
The
Second
Colts,
half of the season, they flip flopped.
Colts were the top three teams in the AFC about like 2 months ago.
Well, do you agree they flip flopped? In other words, the Falcons to the Colts flip flop. Number one, number two, you're playing against Drew Brees, man. You know, you got these veteran quarterbacks. You know, these guys. It's great for the new guys that are playing well. It's great for the backups playing well. It's
There's
great
no middle of the ground
backups
quarterbacks.
playing well. But
Like
man,
middle-aged.
you get those veterans in that game. They know
Would you
what they're
trust
doing.
the ball with Drew Brees or Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
Oh man.
Oh, that's easy for me. It's Brady.
Yeah, yeah, I'd have to go with Brady because he's
Super Bowl
like
experience.
he's like the Jeter of NFL football. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a winner. So is Breeze. It's just that when you're 6'5" or 6 foot, it's a big difference of how big you can see over the line.
Well,
Right?
there you have it. What were your final thoughts about Week 15?
My final thoughts about
Week 15, the best.
that's the end. The playoffs are going to be fantastic because you got like the NFL this year. As much as we like parity, and maybe
Pyramid?
there is parity. I mean, I have to balance it out, I guess. But you have like really teams that have done really bad. But then, man, you got to think about it. You got a 10-3, 11. Look at the teams in these kind. There's teams that are not going to make it with winning records.
That's correct. It's going to be
Right,
interesting playoffs.
so the playoffs are going to be I'm just telling you, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, Santiago, because we and you talked about it. But sports, either
parody.
I don't know what it is. There's more superstars rising like at one time. Like in the NBA, right? Remember, like I said before, there was always good players, but you couldn't name that many of them off the top of your tongue, right? In NBA, you can now. In Major League Baseball, you can now. In the NFL,
you can. Yeah.
It's just the play of professional sports is just rising. So it's a great time to be living through this time and being in sports. I mean, look at basketball. Dude, I mean, the average score now is like over 100 and something.
Yeah, it used to be back. Used to be like in the 80s, back in the.
It used to be like if you could keep a team under 90, you had a good shot of winning. Remember? That was the Heat's philosophy. Now the score is like 140 to 125. So the team that lost scored 125 points. If I told you this NBA team scored 125 points, did they win or lose? I guarantee you 2-3 years ago, you would have told me, oh, they must have blew out that team.
Right now in the AFC, the playoff picture looks at Ravens as winning the conference. And you got the Patriots. And then in the wild card, Steelers and Chiefs, Bills and Texans. In the hunt, you got Titans, Browns, Raiders. That's it. Even the Raiders have a chance. Interesting.
Yeah. I want the Titans in it because I liked Tannehill I was happy with that pick with the Dolphins, and I liked Tannehill. He was at Texas A&M. All right, I mean he was like a runner. He was a thrower,
Wide receiver.
Huh?
He was a wide receiver.
Not at Texas A&M.
think he
No, he
was.
wasn't. He was a
Maybe he
quarterback.
started one, but then he became a quarterback.
No. Go look it up since you wanted to correct me,
Well,
Mr. Santiago.
I mean, I don't have time now. I don't have time now. Next week for our Christmas Eve, sir. Christmas Eve show.
Don't mess with me, dude. Trust me, he's a quarterback from Texas A&M.
Yeah, he was, but he was initially a wide receiver.
The Dolphins would be that stupid to draft a guy that was a receiver and put him at quarterback.
No, he became a quarterback, but he played wide receiver at.
Okay, but I'm just saying, when they picked him, he was a quarterback, right? I mean, he did.
Yeah, that's simple.
My props was him at Texas A&M. He was a great pick, but look what happens. There's just something wrong with the Dolphins. I mean, think about it. He goes at this thing now that we said about the play. I like Tannehill, so I like the Tennessee Titans to win it. As much as I like Gruden, it's just not worth it. But I think the Titans got to, if you're going to have a Cinderella, you got an upset, they got a chance.
Ready for some game predictions?
Yeah, I'm always ready.
Saturday football. Texans at Buccaneers.
Texans.
Bills at the Patriots.
Patriots.
Rams at the Niners.
Niners.
Steelers at the Jets.
Steelers.
Saints at the Titans.
Wait a second. You just said Tennessee as somewhere else, so I'm confused.
Oh, no, Saints at Tennessee. No, Steelers at Jets. Sorry.
Okay. I'm confused. Who's got the eggnog, me or you?
I can't tell you. We're in the show.
Lay off the eggnog. Santiago, I think it's the haircut, bro.
It might be. They might have injected alcohol in it. I don't know.
Put some CBD in your hair.
CBD gel. That'd be an amazing product. I'll buy that.
You got it. I got CBD shampoo. Okay, so tell me the teams again because you keep messing up.
Okay, Rams at Niners. You picked the Niners.
Ravens and Niners? No,
Rams and Niners.
I picked Niners.
Steelers at the Jets.
Steelers.
The Saints at the Titans.
Saints.
Panthers at the Colts.
Oh, my head.
That's a good game.
That's just a weak game.
It's a sucky game, but it's a close game, too.
Hey, watch out. There's kids under 12 watching this.
Well, that's what they say.
I'm just going to throw it up. I'll pick the Colts.
You picking the Colts?
I'm just going to pick a team, dude. What do you want me to do? You want me to just sit here and mull it over? No, I ain't got time.
Here's another bad game. Cincinnati at Miami.
I'm going to take Miami.
Really?
I think that
I hope not.
Let me ask you a question. Am I wrong? Did that coach take over mid-season, or he's been the coach the whole year?
Who?
The coach of the Dolphins.
Flores, he took it from the beginning of the season, but he knew he had a tank.
Yeah, but he's done. I like him, man. I'm telling you right now.
But he's a losing record. I mean, I'm not.
It's not that. It's just that they went from not scoring to scoring. They went from not holding teams on defense. Like, if you look at their stats, they've been marginally improving through the season.
I mean, they probably told him, "Look, you can't win, dude."
He's one of those guys. You got to improve, bro. You can't. 1% improvement keeps going, right? So, anyhow, I'm gonna take the Dolphins on. I'm gonna be a homer.
Baltimore at the Browns.
Oh yeah. I think he's going to light him up, the Baltimore. I think he's going to light up Odell. I think Odell's just going to be like, I got to go with a quarterback like that.
Jacksonville at Atlanta.
Atlanta.
The Giants at the Skins.
Giants.
The Lions at the Broncos. The
Broncos.
Oakland at the LA Chargers.
Oakland.
Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, no, Seattle.
Dallas at the freaking Philadelphia Eagles.
Philly. We already talked about that one, Philly.
You think I think the Cowboys are going to win it. I don't know how, but they're going to win it.
You took the Cowboys earlier. I'm just saying, we got to do our picks.
The Chiefs goes to Chicago.
Chiefs.
And Monday Night Football, this is a good match. Packers at the Vikings.
Ooh, I'm never gonna. Not that I'm never, but if it's the Vikings, I'm not going to go against Aaron Rodgers
No way.
with the
Come on. I
mustache,
think Minnesota's going to win that game.
with the mustache and everything.
I think Minnesota's going to win that game. I think they do well at home. They got a great team. They
Write this
did.
down so we can talk about it next week.
Yeah. Which the show will be on Christmas Eve, by the way.
Right. I'm down like Julie Brown. I'm ready to go fly from Bedford-Stuyvesant on the playoffs. Let's tell everybody to call in and see what they got. We ain't got no comments today.
No comments, man. No one's watching our show. People are doing Christmas shopping tonight on Amazon.com.
Yeah, but we're gonna rebroadcast this anyway. So
We'll see.
they gotta listen up so we can tell them the real deal, right? And they gotta call in and challenge us.
They do. By the way, I think the running back Dalvin Cook is out for the season. I think he's injured, so that's good for the Packers. But the Skulls, they come up and win. So I really think the Vikings are going to win it. But Packers are playing for that first round bye, so they got to win this match.
Hey, remember, okay, let's stick to 2 games that we picked, all right, for next week.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia I picked, and I picked the Packers. Those 2 games, I want you to write it down so we can bring it up next week and see who won this. We're going to go 2 for 2, gentleman's bet.
There's a lot of good games this weekend. Obviously, a lot of teams are playing for seeding. There's also some bad games, but they're close games. Anyways, Victor, what is the best way to reach you to talk to you about drug prevention?
Why do you say drug prevention? I don't know. Call maybe 100. I don't know. Call one of those lines. The bottom line is, all I'm saying, look into the effects of how CBD and hemp can help you, number one. And number two, look, I really care about the health and well-being of people. And again, it goes back to the great response I got. So you reach me at victorarocho.com. Mind, that's like you had mind juice, CBD.com. Via Arocho at Twitter. It's always great to be on this show. I don't want to promote so much. But Santiago, how do they reach you? Because you do a lot of awesome podcast video stuff for people, right?
Yes, you can reach me at S
Productions.
S Leon on Twitter, or you go to SleonProductions.com. We run a lot of media properties like the Sportscast. But Sportscast is my favorite one of my favorite media properties. It might be in the top 2. We are the most profitable. I'm just kidding.
See, that's a different from a non-athlete to an athlete. You're like Hellerman or Kellerman or whatever in Greenie.
Like that show Get Up. I'm not really thinking
fast receiver, and I'm not going to jack him up and think that I'm not going to beat him every time. I saw your work. Your stuff is really good.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So if you have any information,
production. He does video. He does social media. He does
web development, app development, and
he's one of those shy brothers. I'm not shy.
I'm not shy. I am an extrovert to the extreme.
No, you were not even close.
Anyways, you could reach us at the Sportscast1 on Twitter or at thesportscast.net for the latest in sports. Watch out. Go to our website. There's a lot going on in college recruiting. I think Clemson might make it. We'll see some players flipping to different schools. This is very crucial. Like one of the things that I learned, Knowles, they got some good people coming in. They hired
Burrows. I called Burrows.
Oh, yeah, Joe Burrow won the Heisman. We'll see if we win the college football championship. But, yeah, tomorrow we'll have T. Turner Cast tomorrow night and talk about the early signings, which player flipped to what team. These little things are very, very critical. Early signing period, 80% of the kids will sign by tomorrow. And the rest will be in February. So we're looking at very closely. And these things really reflect a lot. If your school is recruiting some great players, you have a good chance to make it to the top 10. Except if you're Utah. Utah fell in the cracks, but they could not have beat Oregon because Oregon had great talent, like Justin Herbert, which Victor does not know anything about Justin Herbert.
That's not it. So you stop. I don't throw any darts. I know about Justin Herbert, number one, and thanks to
Kylu Borden.
Kylu introduced me to him, so he's another great guest. And since then, I've learned a lot about him. So
Yeah.
thanks to Kailu.
And
Thanks
the
to shout out
sportscast.
to
I learned a
Kailu.
lot through the sportscast. We learned a lot through each other. We learned about the Knicks
Shout
back in
out
the
to
90s.
Kailu because I would have never even known about that, brother.
Exactly.
Oregon's
And
a great school, though. You know, when you got Nike backing you, you're doing pretty good.
Kailu is our hybrid sports commentator here at the Sportscast. He covers football, college football, Major League Baseball. He doesn't do hockey, but he does cover women's soccer. So
Who does hockey?
no one does hockey on the Sportscast. And we're full. We are
We
at
live
capacity.
in Florida. We don't like ice.
We don't like ice. The Panther games are like $2 each a ticket. So
That's not true. Panthers got a good team. Panthers got a good team.
anyways, of course, follow us on the Sportscast. A lot going on. Tomorrow we'll have Tyler. We'll have Jeff Farr this Thursday or Friday. We might squeeze in Ryan Christer or Kailu this week. A lot going on. Next week, we're not going to have any show next week probably. Maybe on a Saturday next week,
Why?
but because of the holidays. A lot going on.
What are you talking about? The best games are on Christmas.
You would think. But,
No,
people
think.
need
Check
breaks.
out the
I need a
NBA
break.
games.
I need a vacation. It's been a long year.
Tough enough. Hey, so Justin joins us is on tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Tyler Turner. He'll be discussing college recruiting, so he'll be talking about who
Oh,
signed who.
not Justin. All right.
No, Justin came on last night. I talked about the Heisman Trophy winner and a little bit about Alabama, but he'll be back next week.
That was a great speech by that kid.
Yeah, Joe Burrow. He's the
It made
man.
me cry.
A potential Dolphin player.
I feel bad for him.
That's the caveat. Winning, you got to go to these bad teams. But hey,
All right, my man. S. Leon Productions.
It's a production. The Sportscast won. Victor, always a pleasure. I may not see you till next year.
No, bullcrap. We're gonna get on some. But hey, look, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy everything else you
That's
got.
true.
May you have God bless and have a great holiday season. And may 2020 be a blessed season for everybody. And that's all I got to say. And Santiago, I think you're fantastic at what you do, and God bless you and everything you do.
Go Giants.
Peace.